3 pennies, the same date, 3 different U.S. mints. At first glance, they look old, damaged, and almost identical, but one tiny letter can lead you to a valuable variety, and one simple magnet test can separate an ordinary wartime cent from one of the most famous error coins in American history. The coins you're looking at are a complete 1943 steel cent trio. The first has no mint mark and was struck in Philadelphia. The second carries an S for San Francisco. The third carries a D for Denver. Today, I will show you what these coins normally are, what the visible damage means, which genuine varieties deserve a closer look, and how to test a possible 1943 bronze cent without damaging it. Stay until the Denver coin, because that mint produced a unique bronze example with a verified auction record of $840,000, but do not assume that every 1943 penny is valuable. More than 1 billion regular steel cents were made, and most circulated examples remain common. In 1943, copper was essential to the American war effort. The United States Mint temporarily changed the Lincoln cent from bronze to zinc-coated steel. That is why a normal 1943 cent looks silver gray instead of brown. It should weigh about 2.70 grams, measure 19 millimeters across, and stick strongly to a magnet. The zinc coating protected the steel underneath, but only while that coating remained intact. Once circulation, moisture, or scratches exposed the steel, corrosion could begin. That explains the dark spots, rough surfaces, and patches of missing color visible on these 3 coins. Those marks may tell a wartime story, but corrosion is post-mint damage. It is not a double die, a wrong-planchet error, or proof that the coin is rare. We begin with the coin that has no letter under the date. This is the 1943 Philadelphia steel cent. Philadelphia did not place a P mint mark on the cent, so an empty space below the date is exactly what you should expect. The Philadelphia Mint struck 684,628,670 of these coins. That is more than either Denver or San Francisco, and it makes the ordinary Philadelphia issue the easiest member of the 3 coin set to find. The example on screen is heavily circulated. Lincoln's portrait is weak. Much of the original zinc gray appearance has disappeared, and several dark areas look like oxidation or environmental damage. The date is still readable, but the surface is too rough to judge tiny die details confidently from this photograph alone. Nothing visible here proves a mint error. That does not mean you should ignore every Philadelphia coin. There are 2 completely different levels of searching. First, examine the date and the letters in Liberty. And in God we trust under strong magnification. A recognized 1943 Philadelphia doubled die obverse exists. Real die doubling shows repeatable separation, notching, or a second design impression in the same protected areas of the letters and numbers. Random corrosion, glare, machine doubling, and scratches do not create the same consistent pattern. PCGS also recognizes a 1943 double die variety identified as FS101. A certified MS67 example of that variety recorded a sale of $2,280 in 2024. Grade and exact attribution made that result possible. Second, check the metal. A normal gray Philadelphia steel cent should stick to a magnet and weigh around 2.7 grams. A genuine 1943 Philadelphia bronze wrong-planchet cent should not stick and should weigh close to 3.11 grams. PCGS lists a verified auction record of $372,000 for a Philadelphia bronze example. But this is where many collectors lose money. A copper-colored 1943 cent may simply be a normal steel cent plated with copper. It can also be a 1948 cent with part of the 8 altered to resemble a 3. Never buy one based only on color or an online photograph. Test it with a magnet, weigh it on a scale accurate to 1/100th of a gram, inspect the date under magnification, and then use a major professional authentication service. Now look at the second coin. That small S under the date changes the mint, the mintage, and the varieties you need to search for. This is the 1943 S steel cent from San Francisco. The San Francisco Mint produced 191,550,000 examples. That is the lowest regular mintage of the 3 mints, but lowest does not automatically mean rare. Millions survive, and an ordinary circulated 1943 S is usually an affordable collectible. The coin on screen has a clear S mint mark, moderate to heavy wear, dull gray surfaces, and reddish-brown staining around Lincoln's portrait. that discoloration is consistent with corrosion or a breakdown of the protective zinc coating. It should not be called a copper cent merely because some areas look brown. The magnet and weight tests decide the metal, not the camera color. Here is the feature that makes the San Francisco coin especially interesting. Collectors search for the 1943/2 S doubled die obverse, identified as FS101 on the genuine variety. Remnants of the earlier digit appear beneath the final three, together with die doubling characteristics that match a known die. This is not something to identify from one blurry curve or a patch of rust. The date, mint mark, lettering, and other die markers must agree with authenticated reference images. PCGS reports an auction record of $10,000 for an MS-67 example sold in 2022. There's also a recognized 1943 S doubled die obverse. Again, the keywords are recognized variety and matching markers. A thick-looking letter caused by corrosion is not enough. Rotate the coin under one fixed light. True design separation stays in the same place. A reflection changes or disappears. And then there is the famous wrong-planchet version. A tiny number of 1943 S cents were struck on bronze planchets instead of zinc-coated steel. PCGS records an auction price of $504,000 for one certified example. These are genuine major rarities, but your normal steel-colored 1943 S should not be connected to that price unless it first fails the magnet test, weighs correctly for bronze, and passes professional authentication. That brings us to the final coin, and this one has the strongest combination of a searchable steel variety and a legendary wrong-planchet rarity. This is the 1943 D steel cent from the Denver Mint. Denver struck 217,660,000 regular examples. The D under the date identifies the mint. On the coin shown here, the D is visible, but the surrounding surface has heavy discoloration, corrosion, and plating loss. The rough texture around Lincoln and the date looks like damage that happened after the coin left the mint. From the photograph, I cannot confirm doubling or a repunched mint mark. However, every 1943 D deserves one careful check under magnification. PCGS recognizes the 1943 D over D repunched mint mark, commonly associated with FS501. On a genuine example, a secondary portion of the D is visible in a consistent position around the primary mint mark. It must match the shape and placement of the known variety. A stain beside the D, a scratch through it, or light reflecting from its edge is not a repunched mint mark. This variety proves why accurate attribution matters. PCGS lists a verified auction record of $21,275 for an MS-67 1943 D over D. That price belonged to a high-grade certified variety, not to every 1943 D steel cent. Now for the coin that created the biggest headline.
Only one 1943 D bronze cent is confirmed by PCGs. Instead of being struck on the normal zinc-coated steel planchet, it was struck on bronze. PCGs records an auction result of $840,000, and the same famous coin was later reported in a private transaction for $1.7 million. That does not mean the worn Denver coin on screen is worth anything close to those figures. Its gray metal appearance and corrosion are consistent with an ordinary steel cent. But if you ever find a brown 1943 D that does not react to a magnet and weighs close to 3.11 grams, stop handling it. Do not clean it. Do not scratch the edge to inspect the metal. Place it in a non-PVC holder and submit it for professional authentication. Before you leave, use this 5-step checklist on any 1943 cent. First, identify the mint. No mint mark means Philadelphia, D means Denver, and S means San Francisco. Second, use a magnet. A regular 1943 zinc-coated steel cent should stick. A possible bronze wrong-planchet cent should not. Third, weigh it. A normal steel cent is approximately 2.70 grams. A bronze cent is approximately 3.11 grams. Wear and scale accuracy can cause small differences, so weight alone is not authentication. Fourth, inspect the date and mint mark. Watch for an altered 1948 date, copper plating, corrosion, scratches, and ordinary machine doubling. Compare possible double dies or repunched mint marks with certified reference photographs. Fifth, never clean the coin. Cleaning cannot turn a common coin into a rare one. It can permanently damage the surface and reduce collector value. So what do these 3 coins appear to be? Based on the obverse photographs, they form a genuine-looking Philadelphia San Francisco and Denver 1943 steel cent set in heavily circulated, environmentally damaged condition. They are historically interesting, but the images do not show enough evidence to label any of them a rare error. Reverse photographs, magnet results, precise weights, and stronger macro images would be needed for a better evaluation. The real lesson is not that every old penny is worth a fortune. It is that the correct test can prevent you from spending a rare coin, while the wrong assumption can turn ordinary corrosion into a fake jackpot. If you have a 1943 penny, comment with its mint mark, no mint mark, D or S. Then tell me whether it sticks to a magnet. Subscribe to Quarter Dollar for more honest coin guides, verified varieties, and real auction records. And remember, most coins are common, but rare verified errors can be valuable. Always confirm the variety, grade, and authenticity before trusting any price.